Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have a brand new premium ship to look at. This is the French Tier 5 battleship, the Dunkerque. Or Dunkerque. I'm gonna call it the Dunkerque, so I apologize if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the correct pronunciation. Even I can't screw that up, right? But Spartan, you just did. Never mind. So, we're going to go over my honest first look, guys. So, first of all, I've played a lot of battles in this thing already. I don't remember exactly how many, but it's been quite a few already. And I will go over some of the goods, the bads, and the mediocres about this thing, and let you guys decide in the end whether or not you feel it's worthy of belonging in your port. So, first of all, I believe it should be mentioned that I am top tier in this match. We are tier 5, and we are in tier 5 and 4 matchmaking. So we're okay in that sense. But we've got a doozy of a game lined up. I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a good one, I promise. The 3 ships on this side of the map are going to be clutch. You're going to see just in a moment. So what are the good things? Well, the good things are this battleship was built for dummies. What do you mean by that, Spartan? Well, honestly, you can't screw up playing this thing, even if you want to. Most battleship players don't know when to broadside, when not to broadside. This doesn't give you the option to broadside. Well, I mean, you can broadside, but you're not doing yourself any favors because there are no more guns. All of your guns are over the bow of the ship. You have 8 guns in 2 turrets. Okay, so keep the bow facing the enemy. Now you can see here I'm starting to turn away from the enemy. But Spartan, you said keep the bow towards them. Make up our mind. Well, there's a smoke cloud right on the other side of this island. So I'm assuming that a destroyer is waiting for me to come around the corner. I want to put distance between me and said destroyer. While maintaining a decent angle, I'm not giving them a flat broadside, and I'm keeping my guns able to fire at the enemy. Hello, Nuremberg. How you doing? You want to hold these for me? And, oh, crap. He disappeared. But we're going to shoot him anyway. You never know. I was pleading with that battleship right there not to go around that corner because I just have a feeling, because this side is almost always overmatched in domination, that you just do not go around this corner if you're on this side. But we've got 3 of us here. These guys are intent to engage, which is fine. I can turn my bow towards them. There were no immediate torpedoes waiting for us. It's time to start making things happen. So, yes, very easy to do damage with this ship. Unless, of course, you're at range and you do not have a dispersion build. Now, I do not have a dispersion build on this thing because I have yet to unlock a single battleship captain for the French. I have 3 French commanders, all of which are cruisers or general purpose. Now, I'm using the general purpose commander. If you saw my my French guide to, or my guide to French commanders, you'll know who this is. It's the general purpose commander. He's able to give you benefits on all of your ships. So if you have one chance, there we get a first citadel of the game, and there are more where that come from. If you're in a cruiser and you're fighting a Dunkirk, do not give the side of your ship to this thing. Why? Because it only has 330mm guns. Spartan, only 330? Yes. Bigger than the Scharnhorst, so you can citadel battleships, but small enough that you don't always overpin. You do a lot, but you don't always overpin, and that means cruisers die. And this ship was specifically built to chase down cruisers and kill them. Actually, it was built to chase down the pocket battleships. You know, the Scharnhorst. Yeah. So this thing is fairly good, and it's very good in a chase position. When you're chasing somebody down, you're firing all of your guns every single time. Whereas most ships are at a disadvantage against this because they can't do that unless they give a full broadside. And inside this kind of range, this Nuremberg is testing it. Like, I'm overpinning a lot. I get that. It's a battleship. It still will overpin cruisers. But it doesn't overpin as often as you think. And inside 10 kilometers, this thing can get multiple rounds on target, so even overpins start to stack up on you. But that being said, what are the bads about this ship? Well, without a dispersion build, I don't have any evidence of having my dispersion build, so I can't tell you what it's going to be like with the dispersion build. You'll have to check that out for yourself if you happen to have the right commander. I don't have him yet. But without the dispersion build, this thing beyond 10 kilometers is unreliable at best. It still can give you damage. I don't usually have to farm high explosive in this. It can still do damage against battleships pretty well. So, at best, like I said, at any sort of range, like beyond mid-range, this thing is trolly at best and absolutely horrendous at worst. It's like taking a blunderbuss and trying to snipe something at 100 yards. You're just not going to do it. You pull the trigger on this thing and the rounds seem to go everywhere. Until you get within that 10 kilometers. Now, inside 10 kilometers, this thing is actually pretty nasty. And we've got 32,000. We've got both their cruisers off the board, and all of their battleships are left right here fighting us. Now, as you can see, we had 2 cruisers, 3 battleships, and a destroyer on this side versus 3 people. That's a lot of firepower to shoot at us. Luckily, these guys weren't very good. They had an overwhelming fire advantage, and I just don't know what they did. They were obviously shooting at somebody, and if I had to guess, because I wasn't getting shot, and the other battleship didn't seem to be getting shot too much, because he's at the edge of the map going the other direction, they were firing at the cruiser. And French cruisers, and there we get our New Mexico citadels right there. That's a good one. Taking our damage up to 61,000. Which, in and of itself, would be a pretty decent game, but we're not done here yet, folks. We still got a lot of bad guys left to kill, and things are about to get real interesting. Now that New Mexico, sorry, it's a New York. Dummy! I'm sorry, guys. Somebody was screaming at me, "It's not a New Mexico, Spartan! It's a New York!" So yeah, we take down the New York. I apologize. But he hits me and sets 3 fires with 1 frickin' salvo. Luckily, I had my damage control, and it basically did absolutely nothing to me. Thank you! Now, notice, as soon as that destroyer was spotted, our Galicianeer immediately breaks off from the battleships and goes to hunt the destroyers. That's what its job is. And it's amazing to have somebody on my team that knows what their job is. And he takes down the Fubuki. Now, right here, I look at him, I realize he's got no health. I'm like, dude, just get out of here. Do not take any more rounds. Unfortunately, there are still 2 battleships that are shooting, and he's not going to get away. The Texas is going to take offense that he just got shot at, and he's going to end him very shortly. But he did not die in vain. This guy clutched this side by taking out that destroyer. Because now I can focus all of my attention and all of my guns bow tanking the broadside of 2 battleships. And I'll be honest, I was expecting to obliterate this Fuso at any time. This Fuso has been broadside to me for so long that I was just expecting any moment he would disappear. But, and if I had a dispersion build, that may have been the case, but I don't, and it didn't. So now I'm left with a choice. As I'm getting ever closer to the Texas and the battleship behind me dies, I have a choice. I have 1 versus 2. My choice in this matter was to go for the ram on the Texas while trying to citadel the Fuso. The Texas has the most health, so taking him out with a ram is preferable. However, I realize that these guys are shooting high explosive, and there's that mystery black hole that just eats every round that I fired into the water. Thank you. Appreciate that. But they set me on fire 3 times again, and I managed to get away with another damage control and take very little damage. And what I did here was, instead of going for the ram, I bypass him completely, realizing there's a destroyer behind me with the ability to absolutely ruin his day. I took a big chance, but he had just shot me, so I figured I had enough time to sneak past him, get on the other side of his guns, and that leaves me to only have to fight the Fuso. It's an amazing play for a dummy like me. I wasn't thinking about it all, all the time. As I went in and I was getting the ram, I was like, wait, these guys are firing high explosive at me. I'm not in any super danger. Luckily, the destroyer gets his butt kicked by the Texas, and that leaves me to fight the Fuso, and we get the good shots, and there's the Citadels, getting 2 Citadels into the back of his ship and sending him to the bottom of the ocean. We managed to get a pretty solid game out of this ship, even without a dispersion build, with just a general purpose, build. This ship has so much room for improvement, 125,000 damage and 3 kills. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a very good ship. Yes, I would recommend this ship. This is one of those rare, unique ships that pop out into the game, so I think most people would like this. Just, if nothing else, for the lulz. It's not got big guns, but with them all being in the front and being able to bow tank the entire game and get all of your firepower to bear every single time, it is absolutely formidable. The counter to this ship, on the other hand, is to blow up the guns. Just break his guns. You take out even one turret and you've cut his firepower in half. Instead of hitting you with 8 rounds, he hits you with 4. You knock out both of them, and he's a sitting duck. He can't do anything else. The ship has pretty solid turning for a battleship as well. It's not the slowest battleship in the world, and it still turns relatively well. So that's another big perk to this thing. It does turn really well. And with that, I'll leave you guys alone. I know you're tired of looking at this screen by now, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.